Hey everyone! The Champions League final ended with a stunning 5-0 win for PSG over Inter. PSG's success came from brilliant tactics, such as positional rotation, a false nine system, and relentless high pressing, plus, they showed fierce fighting spirit. They were outstanding. But in this video, I want to talk about Inter. Not just what went wrong, but what could have gone right. Because sometimes, it's not just about how good your opponent is, it's also about the things you fail to do yourself. Let's start with Inter's first issue on the night, coaching and tactics. Inzaghi stuck with his trusted 3-5-2, trying to play out from the back against PSG's aggressive high pressing. To be fair, building up from the back isn't a bad idea at all. In fact, it's often a smarter option than just hoofing it long, especially when done right. But here's the thing, Inter had no plan B. Once PSG pressed with intensity, think Dembele, Doué and the rest swarming the backline, Inter's build-up play froze, and they gave the ball away under pressure. Or in another scenario, Sommer was forced to go long, and the second balls? Most of them fell to PSG. That was the story of the night, Inter just couldn't get the ball out from the back. And if you can't beat the press, you can't build attacks, let alone score goals. So the big question is, did Inter do enough preparation for this? Did they train specific patterns to beat PSG's high pressing? Did Inzaghi give his players clear instructions on what to do when their short passing options were shut down during the game? Poor preparation and decision-making from the coaching staff were important reasons behind Inter's heavy defeat, both in terms of overall strategy and in-game adaptability. Of course, beyond the coaching and tactical issues, the players were also a big part of the problem. The front line? Pretty much invisible. Lautaro Martinez, the captain and attacking leader, had one of his quietest nights. No threat, no presence, nothing to trouble Donnarumma. His partner, Marcus Thuram, wasn't much better. PSG pressed hard, sure, but the Inter strikers can't retain the ball under pressure. That meant Inter's backline never got a break, the forwards couldn't hold the ball, and the pressure just kept coming. And it didn't stop there. Inter's midfield trio, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, and Mkhitaryan, usually so reliable, looked completely out of sorts. Barella, who's normally key to beating the high pressing, had an unusually poor game, making several unforced errors even when no one was pressuring him. Then there's Federico Di Marco on the left. Tough night for him. He was caught out of position for Hakimi's onside run that led to PSG's opener, and just minutes later, his deflection on Doué's shot completely wrong-footed Sommer for the second goal. You could argue both of Inter's early goals conceded came directly from issues on Di Marco's flank. When a whole team has an off day, front to back, it's almost impossible to compete at this level. And finally, let's talk about something that's harder to measure, but just as important, the team's fighting spirit. When the technical side isn't working, when you're up against a team as sharp as PSG, what you fall back on is grit, physical effort, and pure fight. But in this match, Inter didn't bring that fight. Too often, we saw passive defending, players just shadowing their man without real pressure. In 1v1 situations, they held back. Gave too much space. Let PSG's ball carriers breathe, turn, and pick out passes way too easily. There was no urgency, no intensity. Here's a telling stat. In the first half alone, PSG took 13 shots and scored twice. Inter? Not a single yellow card, and just one foul. That's not just clean football, that's a team that never really showed any fight. Football is a physically demanding game. If you're afraid to engage in physical battles, you've already lost half the fight. Yes, PSG were outstanding, but that doesn't change the fact that Inter never showed what they were capable of. The two things can both be true. Hope this video helped. Feel free to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. Really appreciate it.